Greetings there, OldClassicGamer here, and in this video I would like to discuss about recent events and what Sony has been doing about forming the PlayStation PC label and whatnot. So, in case you haven't noticed before, they were publishing the PC ports on Steam under the PlayStation Mobile label. But now it's all gonna change and it's switching to PlayStation PC. And they even got a brand new logo and oh, you gotta love this. It's basically just a classic PlayStation logo and then with the same font, just PC added after that. I don't know whoever designed this logo, like, oh, I hope you got that easy money, because this is just so simple and so awesome. I don't know what to say, but it is quite nice logo in a way. It kind of reminds like a classic PlayStation and PC. So yeah, it's a nice mix. And I want to discuss what I think about this and what I think is going to happen with Sony in the future. And this is all like a little bit just what we know already in the public, a little bit my own personal take, and if you think I'm wrong about something, if you disagree about something, write in a comment, let me know what you think. You're always welcome to a different opinion here on my channel. So before we start anything, let's check out what was talked about in a news article which was published on Video Games Chronicle. So we have it here, right here. Sony has formed the PlayStation PC label for its PC games push. PlayStation PC label registration is seemingly another sign Sony intends to take PC seriously. PlayStation has formed a new PlayStation PC label specifically for its PC gaming operation. It's emerged. On Wednesday, Steam users noticed that the platform holder's PC releases had their publisher switched to PlayStation PC LLC from the previous PlayStation Mobile label. According to Corporation Wiki listing, Sony Interactive Entertainment registered the PlayStation PC name in April this year via its California-based headquarters. Although the name appears to be a formality, it represents another strong signal that Sony intends to increase its gaming output on the PC platform. Sony's first modern PC ports were Horizon Zero Dawn in August 2020 and Days Gone this May. Looking ahead, Uncharted 4, The Thief's End, and Uncharted The Lost Legacy will also make the jump to PC in 2022, shortly after they arrive for PS5, and God of War was announced as an upcoming PC port this month. Another PlayStation title, Sackboy: A Big Adventure, may be coming to PC too, according to a listing spotted on Steam's database this week. PlayStation PC, the reasons behind Sony's PC push. In a corporate report published last summer, Sony first said it would explore bringing more PlayStation exclusives to PC following Horizon Zero Dawn's release on the platform. Then, earlier this year, Sony Interactive Entertainment's president confirmed the PlayStation would bring a whole slate of games to PC. Speaking to GQ, Sony Interactive Entertainment boss Jim Ryan said that the opportunity to bring PlayStation IPs to a wider audience as well as an easier port process meant that making more games for PC was now a fairly straightforward decision for the company. Asked why Sony Interactive Entertainment is now embracing PC, whereas before it was hesitant to bring its games to the platform, Ryan said, "I think a few things changed. We find ourselves in early 2021 with our development studios and the games that they make in better shape than they've ever been before. Particularly from the latter half of the PS4 cycle, our studios made some wonderful great games. There's an opportunity to expose those great games to a wider audience and recognize the economics of a game development, which are not always straightforward. The cost of making games goes up with each cycle as the caliber of the IP has improved. Also, our ease of making it available to non-console owners has grown, so it's a fairly straightforward decision for us to make." PlayStation recently acquired Nixxes Software, which is best known for its work on the PC versions of Square Enix properties, including Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, Hitman, and Thief, to help bring its games to the platform. So now, after checking this article, I think Jim Ryan has a very good point here, especially about how it's easier now to bring those games to PC because PlayStation 3, that was basically, not including handheld systems, but PlayStation 3 was basically a true console for PlayStation in true sense that it's a console, because PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 right now are basically PCs. Yeah, they're basically custom PCs with custom operating system. They function on the same like principle as a PC, and like instead of emulators, I'm convinced it's better if like if people are developing PlayStation 4, you could pretty much call it a PlayStation 4 wrapper for PC instead of emulator, because of how similar it is. So basically it is true, because if they wanted to approach this PC porting back in the PS3 era, that would be a hell for developers. It would cost too much, and it would simply not be worth it. Definitely not, because the cost would be too high, and no, just no. So, but now the things are changed. It's very simple to develop to port from PS4 to PC, because it's the same architecture. And Jim Ryan is right that he wants to use this potential, because making the games available for a wider audience is always a good thing, because it will benefit everyone. It benefits consumers, and it also benefits the publisher and developers, because more money for everyone. So this is why, if you are really a big fan of PlayStation games, you should embrace these decisions, the decisions to port the games to PC, because it will expose more people. Like, okay, let's be real. God of War, I pretty much think that everybody who owns PlayStation 4 already bought this game. I don't think there's any like PlayStation 4 owner who doesn't have a God of War. So the sales dried up. Like you can't expect the sales to still be strong after years passed, and already everybody got it. But now porting the game to PC opens the door to a whole new audience of gamers who can buy the game again. Like, I'm convinced that some people who even have the PS4 version are going to buy it on PC just to check out how it works. Plus, the PC version can also have a mod support, higher frame rate, better graphics, especially if somebody doesn't have a PlayStation 5 but only has a PlayStation 4, not even a Pro version. Now, no, those people are going to welcome PC port a lot, because, of course, if they're true fans, because we also have a category of some people, very vocal minority on Twitter, which is trying to portray that this is somehow a bad thing. And they're like saying, oh, Sony is betraying its core fans. They're porting the games. How dare they do it? I'm never buying Sony game again. I'm not buying consoles again. I'm just gonna wait for PC port. And then there was even in the past argument: are they gonna port this game or not? Like, for God of War, there was a comment on Twitter when somebody was like saying that even if they port Horizon, they're never gonna, you can never see God of War on PC. Well, guess what? You're wrong. God of War is coming on PC, and Ragnarok will come out as well in a few years. I guarantee you that. There's no doubts about it. Ragnarok will be on PC in the future as well. But this is the strategy they're gonna do. They're gonna release the games on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Most of the games on PlayStation 5. I expect probably 2022 is gonna be the year where they're just gonna start dropping PlayStation 4 support, especially like the first party titles. The third party developers are probably going to still keep doing, because again, porting the game is not complicated. Like, it's not the situation like PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 where they had to put much more effort to bring the game on both platforms, like Persona 5, for example, was also on PS3 and PS4, but yeah, it wasn't so simple to create. Like it's not like you make a PS3 version or you make a PS4 version, you can just downscale it. But here with a PS5 and PS4, you can just make it like for PS5 and downscale it to PS4 relatively easy. So I expect developers are probably going to continue doing both releases unless Sony doesn't kill the support officially like they did for Vita. But yeah, Sony's taking a little bit different approach. Like I like Microsoft approach best because on Microsoft platform, every Xbox game is forwards compatible, to say, because you can just even own the regular Xbox One from launch day, and you can still play the newest games that are like primarily made for Xbox Series X. You can still play on Xbox One. Of course, the performance and graphics are not gonna be as good as on Xbox Series X, but it is gonna work. That's the point. But Sony, they did a pretty stupid thing by like saying, "Oh, we believe in generations," some stuff like that. It's very outdated approach in my personal opinion, but whatever. With these PC ports, they're showing the change. Like I criticized Jim Ryan a lot in the past because of his he just doesn't care for legacy consoles that much. He tried to kill PlayStation Store on PS3 and PS Vita, and he's still gonna try to do that. Sony is actively trying to sabotage those platforms. I know it from the first hand. The stores are functioning worse than ever. It's just a complete mess, and they're gonna try to shut them down soon. So you better prepare and fight for it. But yeah, criticize the guy in the past, but this is legit a good decision. A piece like I truly believe the console era is over. Microsoft first realized that, saying that every Xbox exclusive released from now on is going to be day one available on PC as well. If not Steam, then at least Windows Store. Although most of them are going to be coming on Steam as well, because Microsoft realizes that more people prefer Steam anyways. But yeah, Microsoft did the same, and Sony is slowly doing that. Now, they're not going to do it straightforward like Microsoft yet. I believe they're going to have this period like 3+ years before port in some cases. Maybe in some cases it's going to be released right away, because now this has the PlayStation PC label, so they're taking it seriously, because in the past it looked like they're just gonna port few games here and there, but no, I knew that's not gonna be like the case. Some people were like expecting that, but I knew that's not gonna be the case, because of course Horizon Zero Dawn sold excellent on PC, and of course they want to capitalize with more of their games. Now, what I want to see also, aside from PS4 games being ported, I believe for the PS5 exclusive, we still need to wait a couple of years. For example, I wish Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart got PC port, but that's probably going to happen maybe in 5 years or more. I don't know, but Ratchet & Clank, a PS4 game, I think there are good chances that maybe next year we're going to get that game ported on PC as well. Or maybe we're lucky end of this year, but I'm not too sure about that, but I know that next year is most likely gonna be. But what I want to see is legacy titles ported. Now, the PS3 exclusives, that's a bit harder, because PS3 was like its own thing. It had completely different architecture, and those ports are expensive. So I believe if we are going to see any PS3 game ported, we are gonna see only those games that got PS4 remaster already. I can't imagine Sony putting the resources of porting a PS3 exclusive that never came on any other platform. But I would love to be proven wrong. I really would. But we're gonna see about that. But what I wanna happen is imagine PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 classics on Steam. Like imagine that shouldn't be a problem at all because those games are being emulated already on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3, depending what games we're talking about. Because for some reason PlayStation 4 never had PlayStation 1 games playable, which is stupid in my opinion, because the console was more than powerful, of course, to run them, but never happened. I don't know why. But now this should be fixed, and I want to see a lot of PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 classics ported. Heck, they could, if they wanted, they could at same time just port the entire library, because they just need to write an emulator for PC and release it. But then again, I'm not sure if they're willing to do that, because if they made PlayStation 2 games playable on PC with the official emulator, that would open a gate for any game to be like injected or so inside the emulator, because that's what happened, for example, on a Wii and Wii U. You know, like you have those injectors that can inject any NES, SNES, N64 ROM, and it should work. Well, some games don't work, like some N64 games, though, because for Nintendo they wrote a unique version of emulator for each game they released. Now, I don't know if the Sony does the same thing, or if they have one universal emulator for PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1 classics. But that's the only thing I can see a bit tricky, is maybe they do not want people who use PC to have access of official emulator, because the moment Sony would release official PlayStation 2 emulator on PC, PCSX2 would become obsolete. Nobody would care for that shit anymore, because the one released by Sony would obviously be superior. And PCSX2, I really have problems with that emulator. Like, I don't like it at all. Dolphin is miles better, or DuckStation for PlayStation 1. Hopefully DuckStation 2 gets released one day, but we'll see. So this is what I think. Jim Ryan realized that the console model doesn't work anymore, and we are past this era. Like, PS3 was the last true console, like when it was like unique architecture, like a real console. PS4 and PS5 are basically PCs, and I honestly believe that there won't be a PlayStation 6 in the sense of like a traditional console, like even by design. I believe that after PlayStation 5, they're probably gonna experiment something with the cloud gaming and cloud service, because I just don't see them producing and wasting money in hardware anymore, because you see even PlayStation 5 has a lot of shortages, and it's expensive to make, and it's always like the scalpers are always buying it and reselling expensive price. I think console model is slowly dying now. Of course, we have Nintendo, who doesn't appear to be giving up on this model anytime soon. But hey, Nintendo is still releasing like a traditional consoles in a console sense, because the Switch is really unique. It's not just basically a custom case PC with operating system. It's its own thing. It's very unique. It has like a handheld mode, a TV mode. It works, and they also have a cartridges for games. So Nintendo adapted in modern era to like have this console hybrid model, because the one of the main selling points of Switch is, of course, portability. But I don't think Sony can keep up with this. They already fucked up with the Vita and lost the fan base, which liked the handhelds now. So I think this is a good approach. The PC is dominating gaming, and more, like, if you just compare Japanese companies producing games, like 99% of games that are like now being made by big companies in Japan are getting a Steam port like usually day one. rarely there is any case when there are no like PC ports, and this trend will only continue because they realize the potential of the platform, and PlayStation is gonna be doing it the same. If you don't support this, then you're not a true fan of Sony. If you are a true fan, you're gonna support this decision because this was decided by president after all. So you should support it because it helps. It's not some destructive decision like closing the store. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I think this is very good that they're making a PC label now. It shows that they're serious about it, and I hope these games are going to be selling good because I want to see more and more games accessible on PC. I think exclusives are a thing of a past. I don't think they belong in this age, like second decade of 21st century. It's time to move on past this obsolete model, and it's time to embrace multi-platforms. And it's a win-win situation for everybody, basically, because it helps developers, it helps the sales. So yeah. And before you say, oh, but then nobody would buy consoles, you're wrong. There are plenty of people who prefer easy using, and they don't want to spend time with building a custom powerful PC, or they just want to be able to plug and play. Basically, they don't want to be able to mess with the settings to find the best experience. They maybe don't care for mods. They just want to turn on the system, put the disc or download from the PlayStation Store, and start playing. Simple as that. So there's always going to be audience for that. If you don't believe this, then you have no idea how people that are not in your own circle, who are like familiar with PC and stuff like you think the casual person who just uses PC for some work is skilled about working on game modding, setting up the game to run best, configuring, like, especially if there is some configuration file, downloading a mod. You think they care for all this? No, a lot of people simply don't. So saying that console sales are gonna be ruined by games going multi-platform, you're just factually wrong. So don't try to stop what's going on. Embrace this PC porting. It's gonna benefit everyone, and it's gonna be good. So I look forward to see what kind of games are they gonna port. I hope they're gonna port a lot of them, especially PS1, PS2 classics. PS4 games are most likely gonna be ported the most as of now. I want to be proven wrong about PS3, but somehow I feel they're only gonna be porting those games that already have a remaster on a PS4 because it's just easier for them. But let's wait and see. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Share your thoughts in the comments if you disagree with something. I'm always willing to listen what you have to say, and see ya.